Welcome to the U.S. Open 8-Ball Championship, proudly presented by CueSports International and hosted here in Las Vegas at Griff's Billiards. This is a first-round matchup, and it is alternate break, race to 8. Now let's meet our two opponents. First up from the United States of America, Tyler Styer, and his opponent from England, Darren APPLETON. Gentlemen, have a great match, and you may lag for break.
Welcome, everyone, to the first day of the U.S. Open 8-Ball Championships here in Las Vegas, Nevada at Griff's Billiards. This is day one of the tournament, just following the U.S. Open 10-Ball. We've got a great match here for you. First round match with Tyler Styer and Darren APPLETON. Jeremy Jones here and George Teachow.
Yeah, another great match. Our second match here on the stream table in the U.S. Open 8-Ball with James Aranis with a decisive victory over Billy Thorpe. And one thing we can expect that we saw from James in that opening match is Tyler Styer is going to break the balls really well in 8-Ball, just because the same kind of break as 10-Ball. If you break them well in 10-Ball, you're going to be fairly successful in 8-Ball as well.
And James had a devastating break and just well controlled too.
Yeah, and before we get to see Tyler at the table, we'll see, in my opinion, one of the greatest 8-Ball players in the history of the sport. Just a guy that, man, you can learn something from every time you watch him play this game. I mean, and that's all games with Darren, but definitely, you know, when you talk about a top 5 in the world or top 10 in the world, whatever you want to call it, the number is, he's up there when it comes to playing 8-Ball. Now, this is the two differences in the players.
The break, and actually, I think I was talking to you, maybe someone else, whenever I commented about our second match earlier, that you may even see Darren go to the side rail. You did mention that. In fact, I was going to mention it that when I saw him break from the middle there.
Yeah.
I guess maybe he's hasn't used that side break here today.
Well, he probably knew he was on the TV table, so he did a little inspection watching James break the balls, and Billy as well. Of course, James broke him a little better than Billy overall. That was easy to see, but so he probably took a shot at that as well as they were breaking from the middle in that opening match. But I wouldn't doubt if he quickly changed.
Okay. This is a race to 8. We're playing CSI or BCA rules, and 8-Ball on the break does not count. A scratch on the break is ball in hand anywhere on the table. It's all ball fouls. Scratching on the 8 does not lose you the game, but if you make it in the wrong pocket, it does.
I'm wondering, just by his opening shot on a solid, the one maybe plays off the 13 to open the 2, because breaking open the 2 ball with the 13 there as well off the 1 is not easy. I mean, I'm saying there's not a lot of guarantee there you're going to come away with a shot. Okay, that's pretty nice there. And again, with the 13 there, hard to for sure say you're going to come away with something, and I'm not so sure he did here.
No, the 2 ball's still stuck.
Yeah, and he's jacked up, and so he's going to have to probably leave the 1 there if he can. And immediately probably looks like he becomes an underdog in this game, even though he's at the table.
Well, he's got to clear off the 1 ball, so from there he's got to go to work and find a way to open up that 2.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I might leave the 1 there for now. I might take on a long shot on the 5 or the 6 just because. Not saying the 1 is a great way to break the balls, but it's something that's down there. Sure. I mean, even if you pick out let's say this, you pick out a way to go into the 2, right, off the 5 or the 3 or something. Well, at least you leave the 1 there. Okay, we're going to.
He's trying to block the 9 ball with the deuce.
Yeah.
And Darren has some choices here.
Well, the one thing about it was the 13 was still playable, even if he would have left the deuce there. So it wasn't like he was improving the stripes that much. The stripes were already playable. The 12 and the 14, or is that the 12-15 down here? Yeah, it's
a 12-15.
Yeah, those are going to be the 2 that worries Darren.
Just looking at ways to get to that 12-15. 9-ball is a way.
Well, the combination's makeable from down low.
And that's what I'm looking at right there. Yeah.
It's still a little bit of a worry. It wouldn't be much of a worry if the 6 wasn't there. But with the 6 being there, the combination, the 12's definitely coming off that 15 and towards the 6. But he's going to do it early, and that's the proper way to do it. That way, if something does tie back up, you got another chance to get at it.
Readjust, yeah. Yeah, it looks good from there. He's gotten right where he wants to be.
Yeah. Probably wanted a hair more angle just so he could go up with the cue ball a little easier, but still should be okay. Watch out for like a kiss back on the cue ball here. And that's why he hit it hard, because he wanted to make sure.
He's going to come up behind the 3 and get stuck. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darren is sponsored by Predator, and he is actually using a Predator cue, an old one. He said he's had for a long time. He says, I used to play great with it, so I'm playing with it again.
Yeah, he's probably got a few titles that cue does. Okay, and he's in a world of hurt as far as he's got to come to the short side of the table and then back up somehow to kick at one of these balls, most likely. The one thing, though, I'll tell you, if he can get a good hit on, say, like the 10 or just anything down there, if he can keep him off a shot on the 1, Tyler may have to come with a long one, George.
Yeah, but how does he? He's got to make contact with the stripe.
Yeah, 2 rails at the 14, maybe around the 5. At least maybe you might make that. You never know.
And he doesn't want to.
Yeah, that's what he's called. He's going to go 1 rail. I thought he might go 2 rails around.
I like the 2 railers.
Just because he can
he's
cue
not
it
elevated.
better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, for the second time in
In
as
2
many
games.
as 2 matches, we're going to see the double bridge.
You don't see this in a month of Sundays, and here it is twice in the first 2 matches on the stream table.
A double bridge. It always makes me think of Cliff Joyner. Played him so many times 1 pocket. And just imagine being over a stack and having to use a double. And I've seen him use even 3 bridges to get at the cue ball. And the guy was amazing doing it. Okay, so the reason why I think he's kicking this way, I think he thinks he's got an easier way to keep him off the 1 ball. At least make Tyler.
He's missed the whole ball. And Tyler will take care of that 1 ball right here, right away, I'm sure.
Most likely, yeah. It's either the 2 to the 1 or the 1 to the 2 and back up. Just depends on what it looks like. Should be something like probably the 1 to the 2 to the 6, 3 in the side, 5 in the opposite corner, and then the 8 in the side. You can see that triangle you were talking about. Well, you don't want to get on that side of the 2 ball. So the first shot here,
Well,
I
now
think, yeah, he's out of line.
I would wait and shoot the 2 ball last. Now that he's here,
right, but the 3's missable. That's. I mean, don't get me wrong. You may be right because of the congestion he's sending the cue ball into, but he's really gotten himself to where he could miss the 3 as well, because it's a little off angle and you're near the rail.
Yeah, wow, he likes.
Yeah, this is. It's a little bit shocking, really, to get that out of line. But that's maybe first game. Not remind yourself, pay attention to this first shot.
He just overran the position.
Yeah.
The 3 ball's easier to make than the 2 ball is than maneuvering the cue ball through those 4 balls.
And I agree. Probably this is the shot, but you just didn't expect him to get to one that was missable right off ball in hand. So.
And even your suggestion to play the 2 first and then the 1.
Yeah, and then come up straight towards the 6.
Now he's in a little bit more trouble.
Well, if he can't see that 5, things have definitely gotten funny. Because he's got to either elevate again or go forward into traffic with an 8 ball that could get him as well. So, first game, both these guys drew a bye. So this is their first opening game of our U.S. Open 8 ball.
This is a race to 8, and we are at Griff's Billiards in Las Vegas, Nevada. had a great 10-ball tournament. Tyler's 10-ball experience was losing to Kevin Chang 9-4. Then he defeated James Aranas 9-7, but then lost to Alex Pagulai 9-5.
Okay, he's gotten himself back in line. When you're playing 8-ball, it's really about the pattern. It's really about what carries me with the least amount of cue ball movement and the most simple cue ball movement as well. Meaning not really catching 2 rails out of the corner. It's really a lot of 1 rail or just stun your ball over shape, maybe pinch the cue ball back on a few draw shots.
Well, he's not elevated and he's not behind the ball, so.
Yeah, and he's a tall young man. So with that extension added on there for this 5-ball, won't need a bridge. And after this 8, we'll soon get a look at that break we were discussing, which I gotta believe is going to be.
I already saw it in practice.
Yeah, it was good, huh? Yeah.
He broke the balls, and the cue ball checked just in dead center of the table, just above the side pockets, and nothing touched it. Nothing.
And I'm guessing
surprised
he's
me.
making 2 or 3.
He made a couple balls.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to James Aranas after his first round, or actually I think it's second round win.
It was second. He had a bye.
Because they both got a bye.
Yeah.
I was talking to him about the break, and I think we both agreed that it seems to me, of course, we talk about that the rack is very similar on where the balls are tracking, the ones you're trying to make, but the 2 behind the 1, the head ball, they seem to go in. And if you hit them well, even more than 10-ball in the side pot. Yeah, it seems truer even with the 8-ball rack to me.
I'll have to watch for that. So right here would be the 10 and the 12 going towards the side pockets.
Yeah.
Because he's breaking similar from a similar location. I think James broke from the other side, but Tyler's breaking from the left side.
Yeah, and it seems like they kind of fly in there as well and don't go high as much. We see them go high in the 10-ball break sometimes, but okay,
well,
those.
12-ball net went nowhere. The 10-ball went for the pocket, but missed it.
Well, one thing is, though, we are playing with a triangle. So that could make a huge difference on how the balls break, and it may have made a huge difference in our opening break with Darren's breaking dry.
Well, Tyler didn't break dry.
No, and he's really kind of forced to take the solids.
And if he takes solids, he's got a 5-ball that's a concern and a 2-ball that's a concern. And if the 4-ball doesn't go by the 13, which I think it does.
Yeah, I think he's okay. He's got an opening 3-ball that he could shoot and lend a nice angle on the 1 to go around the 6 and bump the 2 open and have the 6 laying there pretty easy. That's what I would look at.
There's a good shot of the 4-ball going by the by the 13.
He's leaving the 3, and I'm wondering how he's going to get at the 2. Does the 6 go off? 6 goes off that ball, maybe? Because you don't want to come 1 rail into this just because you would have rather, well,
the 3-ball's insurance if he opens up the 2 now.
It is insurance, but the 2's got to open nice. He's got to be pretty controlled here. So as long as he's very sure he's just coming 1 rail up into the 2, okay.
He went right between them.
And see, that's why if you play off the 1 and go to the back rail, you're guaranteed. I mean, there's really hardly no way to not go into the face of the 2-ball. But I mean, it's okay. He's still all right. He can get at it.
Just from a further distance now.
Yeah, and it may be right here.
Well, up there, the 14 can come into play.
Well, the scratch comes into play as well. Okay, that's a nice shot there, knocking the 5 open.
Can he get? He can get it here, can't he? Yeah. He can go 2 rails right at the 2 here.
The key
Just
here
push
is
it open.
If you overhit this, it's probably going to spread and you miss these. So you got to be pretty confident in going into it with a mild speed. See how it spread on him because he added speed, okay, and that's something you
and
just
look where he's going to end up.
Right, and that's just something you got to have and with experience that hey, I got to actually hit that ball nice and thin and easy. That way, I get deep into that corner or that second rail and open that 10 and 2-ball.
Well, it's going to take something special for Darren not to come back to the table this game.
Yeah, probably a cross side bank on the 2 if he can even get at that. I'll tell you what he could do. He could roll this in, because he's going into those balls on the side pocket if he hits it hard. Roll this in. I know it sounds crazy, but get to where he can shoot the 5 from over just right of the spot and come 4 rails to try and create on the backside of the 2.
Oh, wow, gotcha.
I mean, it really is an option. It's a very viable option. So get just over those balls on the side pocket, something like that. Oh, he's playing the bank.
He's banking. He's going to follow the cue ball down for the 5 and try to break the break the 2 from the 5. So he wants to get the cue ball all the way down.
Is he hoping to maybe tie up a pocket if he misses? Oh, he hit it well. I'll tell you that. I don't know if it's going to go or not, but he hit it well.
Go, wow. And he, unfortunately, well,
he's got it. He's got a big pocket on the 5 and the side, George, so he can manipulate the cue ball here.
Sure.
He can draw to the rail and maybe create something.
I didn't see the 2 balls. Well, I had seen 2 balls, but I didn't think of them as far as
helpers.
As helpers, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing he can do, and this is what I might do, is there's a lot of risk trying to play position, right? Why don't you make the 5 and just take the cross-side bank? Get on the end rail underneath it.
You mentioned that earlier.
And get yourself a shot.
Sure.
Get yourself a shot at it at least. I mean, you want to say, man, I can get up underneath there. And maybe if he runs 1 rail into the 10, that way he's got that upper corner, upper top left corner on your screen, and he might have the side. But he's got a big pocket here, so no reason to miss that 5. Look at this. How sweet is that?
Wow. What a shot. And like I said, it's going to take something special for Darren not to come to the table, and that bank shot was something special.
Yeah,
along with this shot.
I'm not sure if I was at the table that I would have ever seen him playing the bank. Just because it didn't look like it was going to give you some type of guaranteed reward. I mean, he still had to bump the 5, make a great shot on the 5, produce on the 2, but he's done it.
Yeah. He still had to follow that ball down, to a nice location.
Okay. Got that shot on the 8.
That was a fine out if he gets this out.
Yeah.
So it's to pocket this long shot.
This one you don't want to baby, but if you hit it with a high ball, this is going right towards the side pocket.
Yeah,
okay.
These shots.
May have to kind of manipulate the cue ball with a little English, and it looks like he's putting a hair inside, which is okay. Either inside or outside, and don't baby it. Yeah, nice shot.
What a great out by Tyler Styer for a 2-0 lead. He stole Darren's break. This is alternate break format. We are sponsored by CueSports International, Cyclop Balls, Discount Custom Apparel, Griff's Billiards, JB Cases, Kamui Predator, and Simonis Cloth. Both players at the table right now are both using Predator cues.
Yeah, we talked about it in the first match as far as James Aranis and Billy Thorpe were, probably more curious than questioning their 8-ball experience. Talked about because they probably started at a young age competing in some, whether it be action and like they do in the Philippines and wherever at rotation games. Another reason why is just like for Tyler, for instance, like when I started kind of late, 17 years old, but I played a couple years of league, which was really exclusive 8-ball. So that's another thing that a lot of players do, spend some time at some time before they start playing at a professional rank or a more competitive rank of some sort. So I was thinking about Tyler. I was like, I bet he's never played league either, which is another, gives you another couple years, 2 or 3 years of a lot of 8-ball experience.
Sure. Tyler's at a young age. He's at 24. The players were rated by, top 16 players were rated by Fargo. Darren was the 11th seed. Tyler fell under that 771 mark, and he's at 750. Fargo. I believe we have 23 players over the 750 and better.
Okay.
Out of the 36 players in this week's 8-ball tournament.
All right, well, he's got options here. He can play them either, really, the solids or the stripes. If he goes with the stripes, he'll probably want to leave the 12 last. Probably something like the 13, 9, 11, 14 in the sides or however you play those two. One will be on the side, opposite corner, something like that. And then play the the 10 and the 14, and then the 12 last to drop on the 8. I think that's the way he'll. It's either that or you play these two and you leave the 9 last, the 12-9 last.
Now right here he can open up the 8 and the 11, because you can shoot this 14, bump him, and have the 12 as guaranteed, and possibly even the 15 if he chooses.
Yeah, he got a little off, and I don't think Darren will want to do that very often. Now, if that 7 wasn't there, he doesn't mind bumping the 8 into a definite open situation.
Open space, sure.
But with options already, so what he's doing, we talked about when you have 2 balls, it's hard for a lot of things to go wrong. So he's going to leave the 11 and 14 last now to get on the 8 because, like I said, when you have 2 balls to work with and they're near and you have available pockets, well, it's hard to get out of line. Now, he's gotten a little out of line on this 10.
Here, yeah.
But he's still okay. He can shoot the 12 in after the 10 and fall to the bottom rail and have the 11 in the side. Yeah, he's in good shape.
Yeah, I thought he might have played position for the 10 to come down on the 14 and the 11 to play those.
Oh, right.
But if he thought about that, he overran it a little bit.
Yeah, and
But he's got the side pocket.
And he's got an upper corner too with the 11. So he hit that a little light. He's going to be a little unhappy about it, but he can go forward off the 11 for the 14. He can, like I said, when you keep 2 near, you're usually going to figure out something that works pretty well.
Your angle doesn't have to be as precise.
Exactly.
And he was able to use it for the 11 instead of the 14.
And there is that funny area that you can fall on, even though you have 2 there, but it just doesn't happen very often. What Darren's got to realize, if he's gotten dead straight on the 11, that's the only one that really hurts here. Otherwise, he can drop below the 8 easily off of the 14.
I was going to say, it looks like he's stopping him from the 14
he's going to draw to the
side.
backside. He'll shoot the 14 and draw to the backside and play the 8 in the corner by the 2. A guy that really knows his 8-ball, I tell you. You may not get to see all that knowledge in this race to 8 or even this entire tournament, but he's struggling right now a little bit still, and he'd tell you that himself, that he's trying to get back in the grease and
this might be the grease that gets him there too, because since he is so kind of, I don't want to use the word specialized, but so good at 8-ball, it's one of his stronger. Well, everything's strong about Darren's game, but this might be better than the rotation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I totally agree with you, George. It's just the mindset alone saying that he doesn't have to feel like, number one, that he's that much of an underdog right now, even with not in top form, and then also probably feels like he's going to get a little more opportunity at times.
Well, I don't know.
Some of the guys.
After watching those last 3 balls that Tyler came with,
right.
Opportunity may not be as available.
Well, that too,
here.
but that's a perfect prime example that he might feel like that some of these youngsters might put themselves in some situations that they don't care for, and this would have been my worry playing Tyler Styer, that if you can break like that, I mean, experience isn't going to come into play too much. Occasionally it will, and this may be one of them. He's going to have to start off with a long shot on the 13, right?
13 or the 11 if it goes by the 13.
Okay. And that's probably better if it does go by the 13.
He's also got the 14 down here on the bottom,
yeah,
with position on the 9.
Oh, no, that's better. That's even better. I thought he was stuck to the 5 there for a second from the other camera. No, that's definitely the shot. Then you really have options. You can go and take care of these 2 before coming back down table. Also, you could shoot the 11 next and drop on the ball that's hanging in the corner pocket. It's really Tyler's one of his strengths here, the long, smooth.
Long, smooth stroke.
Yeah.
Long, smooth shot, yeah.
And really being accurate with it.
Sure. Now, you watch Tyler, and it kind of reminds me of, I think there's another player that I've seen do the same thing. He comes with that real slow backswing, slow, deliberate backswing, and then the forward progress of the forward delivery. Roberto Gomez does that a lot too.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a few, but do you feel that's taught or that is natural for some reason?
Well, I think it's a bit of both. I don't think that type of swing is something you'll train too much of without being fairly comfortable with it anyways. Like, okay, I can do that. And then also, yeah, definitely taught or definitely
Observed and tried to be imitated.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Or somebody saying, "I like it," don't change that. Already had it. Don't worry about that. Somebody, maybe Tyler, say, "You think it's too slow?"
Look at this. This is going to be a stop, and he's done. Which is the way 8-ball should be played.
Yeah, well, it definitely should be broke that way. I'll tell you.
Oh,
that. Yeah. I think he made, let's see, 4 on the break, I believe it was.
Yeah, he made quite a few. And
2 apiece.
Then that long shot on the 14 just opened everything up for him. Now that just opened Darren's eyes to what he's facing.
Yeah, well, Darren's
like
no
that.
stranger during his World Pool Series, at least the tournament I played in, which was one of the first ones. The break rule was you had to break outside the box, which really slowed that head-on break down and made it to where the runouts were more difficult.
Well, Darren's trip to the U.S. Open 10-ball started out with, of course, he lost to Tyler 9-1 in the 10-ball, then defeated Robert Ferry, Kelson Juan, Casper Madigan, and then lost to Billy Thorpe at the end there. So he faced some quality players.
I hate to ask because I was eating during the end of that last match. Did SVB come back and beat Max, or did Max hang on to beat SVB?
That's actually a good question because let me find that out. Because Max was actually up on him.
No, he had a huge lead, but I know Shane was coming back.
Yeah.
Okay, those weren't hit well. Darren's not going to be happy about the strike on the break there. And
well, Shane lost his match.
8-6
to Max. Max Eberly.
Well, Max is playing. He played really well. It's just one of those tournaments. He didn't get a paycheck in the U.S. Open 10 ball, but he won a couple of really nice matches over some really good players, and then the 2 defeats he took was he lost a total of 2 matches by 3 games. 3 games.
Yeah. 9-7 and 9-8. Yeah.
All right, so no reason to take a chance here. They're both fairly equal on the run, so I go ahead and take the solids. Just because the three's easier than, like, say, a cut on the 14, and you're not going to lose the cue ball. But he wants to go ahead and get some of that congestion taken away. Okay, came a long ways there. Okay, he wants to go ahead and play that little short position. So I would have personally tried to get on the 1 right then, but this is fine. I don't think it's going to hurt him at all, and it's probably going to turn out actually perfect. But go ahead and get on the 1. That way you can drop on the 5 and go ahead and take that 7 away. Okay, he's going to get on the 5 now, but well, you want to go ahead and get at that 5, and now he's elevated on the 4 and a little thin on the 5.
Just those little awkward angles.
Yeah, but don't
like that.
Yeah, one policy in 8-ball though is don't try to move the cue ball into position. Use another ball to get position with.
Great advice.
He's got so many options though. He should be okay, but overall he shouldn't have. Okay, the 7 goes in the side easy, huh?
Sure.
Because you shouldn't have the run he had. You shouldn't have to be cutting the 1 to the upper left. You shouldn't have to take that hard of a shot.
He can go ahead and get on the 1 here if he wants, or get on the 2. Now he's going to stay on the 5. Or possibly just shoot the 1, stop it for the 5, and then get on the deuce.
Yeah. Just remember, you need angle on whatever that last ball is getting on the 8.
Right.
I wouldn't don't think I would have. And now, if I can keep this off the rail and make sure I'm nice and heavy on the 1, I don't mind shooting the 5-1-2.
Actually, I like that because he can leave the he can
Stop
stop the ball
shot.
right there and just run the cue ball, follow it between the 10 and the 12 for the 8.
I don't think he's going to have any problems. The thing is, you want angle on that last ball, like we talked about, but you don't want a bunch of angle. It's weird. You want angle, but you don't want to be thin.
Yeah, he's going to try to get the cue ball pretty much where it is now, just a hair to the left, maybe.
That would be nice, but if he falls a little out of it on here.
Well, that's, like you said, use another ball to get where you need to go, and not. But he's out of balls.
Right.
Now he has to come to the opening.
Right.
Either comes to the window or comes all the way down.
Yeah, this is where you broaden position. You come all the way to the other side of the side pocket, really. If you're really guaranteeing that position, you just take the long little chip shot on the 8. Okay.
Easy.
All right.
He's
okay.
Good.
But you know what I mean? Put a little heavier left spin and broaden.
And guarantee the window.
Exactly. Don't speed isn't required so much. And now a 4-1 lead and breaking, but Darren, he just mishit the break there and just got a little quick with the delivery and then kind of glanced the head ball. That's why you did see so many right there near the rack. One thing, like I said, I like seeing that the guys aren't having to really work too hard to rack the balls.
Yeah, it's taken not even a minute. It'll make for faster matches, and it'll also make for more rhythm for the players.
Yeah.
And less pain for you guys at home watching them rack.
Tyler Styer's break makes for faster matches as well.
I think Jeremy likes Tyler's break.
Well, it's just
just
to repeat it, just to keep repeating it. It's so impressive to me. And like I said, he can really do it at a lot of speeds.
And look at the cue ball. He parks it in a position where nothing hits it. That's 2 breaks. And I watched a couple of practice breaks that he parked it in exactly the same spot, never got touched.
Yeah, so eerily similar to SVB's break, Shane Van Boning. And really, that break won him a lot of 8-ball tournaments. And then he really, got to play more of it, became probably one of the best in the world at playing the game as well. And that's how arguably, what's the thought process? How open they are, how much room.
Well, the way these balls are laying here, if Tyler just keeps this cue ball, once he gets done with this stuff here on the outside of the table towards the outer ends, he leaves the cue ball in the middle of the table and he's out.
Yeah, I'm wondering why he's waiting on the 2, though. You got to get to that 2, and that's what he's doing now. So good shot there. And he'll shoot the 2-1 and the 4 to drop on that 7, and then the 8 last, obviously. But should be 2-1-4, I would think, right?
I like it.
Yeah, I mean that's whenever it's in that theory of using the balls to play position rather than you moving the cue ball so much to play position.
Back to that triangle we spoke of.
Especially with that side of the table so open, right?
Yeah, and he just pointed out exactly where he's going here.
And no bad place to really get. I mean, you could overhit it a mile, I guess.
If he gets down by the 9, he's in trouble. But he's not going to be down by the 9. He's perfect. You could invent trouble. And we saw a player or 2 do that in the 10-ball.
Well, if I ever get back to playing, George, what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out when I make a game with one of these guys who's going to break for me.
I'm going to take James.
I'm starting to figure it out.
I fell in love with his break. His break was he didn't pocket the balls as many, but he had such a great spread.
Oh, yeah.
And the way they spread out, I liked his break. His 8-ball break was devastating. But so is this young man's right here. And where he parks it is amazing. Yeah, it's funny. Our first 2 matches on the stream table, and we've probably seen now 2 of the best breaks that will be in this tournament. The next one I'm interested in seeing is Marco Toucher's, because he also had a very good 10-ball break, as both these guys have.
And I spoke with him in between these our first two matches, and of course congratulated him again on his win. But just seemed like a pretty pleasant young man, and you know, he's a Euro, and I got to believe, like I said, 8-ball is usually one of their foundation games to really try and start training with. And I got to believe he's going to be a threat in the 8-ball event as well. A couple other ones I like to see play we haven't got to see much of yet. Junglin Chang.
And Kevin Chang.
I like to see him play 8-ball. Now, is this 8-ball going to get pushed in? Is this another dry break? I think it is.
Well, keep in mind that both of those guys play that Chinese 8-ball too, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, they played in them. I'm not so sure they played in. They don't play in all of them.
Okay.
But look at the stripes tied up. Of course, this is just telling you what to do with the solids. He's got to clear the 8-ball open anyways. But, you know, there could be one solid over there where that 14-12 is at and everything, and we get to see a little bit of how Tyler's going to deal with it. But this is just pretty much being open with an efficient with an open table, keeping the cue ball in the clear. Right? No problems at all.
He's going to have to create. He's going to have to make a mistake.
Just keep it simple.
The way the balls lay, he should be able to get through them pretty easy. And there might have been a little bit of a mistake. He just made things a little tougher.
Still okay, though.
Right.
I wouldn't wait on the 5 too long, though. I'll tell you that. Just because you'd like to say, man, there's no way I can't get on the 5 and then the 8. But there actually are a few positions that you could fall funny where you have to draw into the 8 a little bit or something like that.
I like this right here. I was about to say,
sure.
I like this right here a lot. And now probably the 4 after this. It's going to be a little off angle, so maybe not. But he's going to shoot the 7 now.
It may go down for the side pocket on the 4.
Okay. Makes sense. I just because of the 11 and being able to get the angle he wants on the 4, I kind of wasn't real happy with it. And he might shoot the 5 ball next unless he wants to spin down.
Yeah.
I don't see him shooting the combo into the 5.
No, you certainly don't want to do that, even though it looks like it's hard to have too much go wrong. But
well, he could pocket both of them and move the 8 ball out of play.
True that. And that's kind of what I meant as far as you would have to really hit it hard to have a problem. I mean, it looks like hitting it easy. You'll probably never make the 6 also hitting it easy, and you'll probably get a shot. But you certainly probably don't want to play that combo if all else is possible.
This is just a draw shot to end up for the side pocket on the 6 ball.
Yeah, but this is the one that you mishit a hair. I think he wanted to get on the combo after shooting the 4. This is the one you could catch a piece of the 8 and the cue ball go a little crazy on you. I mean, Tyler, it's one of his, again, many strengths, the real good long distance draw stroke. Doesn't have to overhit it too much so he doesn't lose accuracy. Yeah, that's nice. And now, as long as he didn't get elevated, he'll just have a little chip shot on the 6 and the 8. And to go up 6-1 quickly, and we'll be breaking, right? This was from another dry break.
Yes. Darren started breaking the balls. Couple of scores around the room on some of the matches. Dennis Hatch and Mason Koch tied at 2. DeLuna over Chris McDaniel 2-1. Chernohov trails James Barax 5-3. Dennis Ercolio over Danny Olson 6-0. Johnny Mora over Jim Davey 4-1. And is it Kevin Chang over trailing Edgy Geronimo 4-2, and Jun Ling Chang and
Makinen.
Casper Makinen tied at 3.
Yeah, these matches are moving right along.
Good. We had some tight matches and timely matches during the 10 ball.
And I think you know as well as I do, I expect some more of that as the tournament goes on. But we've got some great matches going on, just like the one you see here as far as two of the best in the world. But it's amazing, just the 2 differences in the break shot. Makes all the difference in the world. And now he's got another time where he's really got a choice. He's a little flat and straight on the 1, so that'll keep you off of that because position is difficult. But if he had to, he could get around and get a shot on the 3. But he'll go with the stripes, I'm sure. Or the 2 goes.
Maybe the 2 ball.
Oh, okay.
The
If
2
the
ball
2
might
goes
go off
now.
past 1.
Now, the thing about the 2, though, the stripes are so nice also. If the 2's any kind of tight, no reason to take a chance on that. In my opinion, anyways. I mean.
So it looks like he'd have to start off with that long shot of the 15.
Well, he's jacked up on the 13, but it's not hard. So this tells me the 2's pretty wide open. And if it's wide open, like there's no real chance of missing it, I like the solids. He'll have to produce a little more of something on the 8.
Would have been nice to get on the 5 there.
Yeah. I wonder if the 5 passes that 7 all the way up. That helps things a little bit. Yeah, you're right about that, though. He should have shot for the 5 right then.
Yeah. If a 5 doesn't go by the 7, he could probably shoot the 7 now and then shoot the 5.
Yeah.
But,
how are you going to get on the 8?
3?
What are you getting on the 8 with? Because the 8 doesn't pass the 11, and you can see the 14's got that other corner pretty covered up.
You're going to have to use the 3 ball, I guess. You still have a 1 ball up there, too.
And the 14 covers up the 8 and one of the sides, so you're starting to eliminate pockets on the 8.
That's right.
Still should be okay, though. Everything's so open. Yeah, that's a good shot getting on the 5 right there. And you can shoot the 5-1 and the 3 to get on the 7 with an angle to come over for the 8 in the side pocket, maybe?
Sure. Yeah, I like that. That sounds good.
Should be all right there. Thing is, he doesn't want to get straight on the 3. He's obviously going to be off the rail, but he can handle pretty much any angle as long as it's not a lot of angle. He can handle the angle coming to the rail and back over. He can handle the angle just drawn straight towards that 7 off the 3. And I think he's fine. I think just straight high ball, he goes right in between the 10 and 12. Now the one thing, again, he doesn't want to be straight on the 7. As long as he has angle on the 7 as well, he can handle either.
As long as he comes back past that 10 ball.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be too much
no.
problem. I think more of getting elevated over the 12 could be more of a problem. Or dead straight in on this ball, but he's going to get there.
Yep.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is he's got the 8 all the way up also. He doesn't have to force it to get across for the side. Oh, he had a lot of angle. Actually, almost dove into a horrible position over the 11.
Well, you know, as easy as this looks, it's.
Oh, this is missable.
That's what I was going to say.
Heck yeah.
I don't really want to say that this could be missed by this quality or this level of player, but I'd much rather be 2 feet closer.
Full stroke, though. Stick to the full stroke. Don't baby it. Don't think I'm going to try and make the pocket bigger by easing it. Go ahead and keep doing what you've been doing. Usually goes in a lot more often.
And here we are, the young man on the hill and Darren Appleton have to play catch-up, big-time catch-up. You know, our next match is going to be Marco Tutcher and Skyler Woodward. Out of the 5 of the 6 players that we're going to see on the stream today, all 3 of those are pretty much.
All 5 of those?
All 5 of those. All 5 of those got the numbers right. All 5 of those guys are pretty much the future here. They're going to be playing each other for a long time. I mean, 27, 24, 23. 2 of them are 27. One's 23. One's 24. Skyler is 26, I believe.
Yeah, not guys that are like, all right, well. These are the class, some of the class of the future.
Sure, exactly. These are the elite of the future.
Did he just break from the side rail? I think he did.
I missed it. It looked by the looks at the ball, yes.
Yeah, I think he did. He broke from the his right side rail, left. If you're looking at your screen. And now he needs to find an opener. And if he can get at the 13 on the side, that's the one he's wanting. There's not a scratch, I don't think, in the corner. And maybe off the 1 is the only way. I don't think he'll scratch in the corner. I don't think. With right English, I think it's pretty impossible to go straight in that corner pocket. Now he's going to look at the combination because the scratch is some worry to him. And it just looks like to me it's real hard to scratch just shooting off straight off the 13. It looks like to me you got a better chance to scratch off the 1 than you do straight in the hole. He's going to play the combo on the 7-13. Now the thing is the 7 going to bump the 9 at all, or I don't think so.
It looks like it goes by it.
I think so too. Thing is, he's he got to draw a position on the next ball, so he's going to come up at least for the 9 or the 10, I would think.
When we started playing 8-ball, you couldn't do this.
This is what I was talking about. Now he's got to make a long 10-ball. That's why I was saying I think he's got to come up the table for either the 9 or the 10 because you could see the 2 and the 1 in the way of both the 9 and 15. Now he's got a bigger pocket on the 12 if he wants to shoot the 12 instead of the 10. Right?
With the 8-ball, with the 8-ball being there, is it bigger or smaller?
It's close. I think it's bigger though.
It's bigger. Yeah, it does. You can't see the corner of the pocket.
The point, yeah.
The point. You can't see the point because of the color of the table there.
Okay, and he's still not out of the woods because he's got to get to a 15 that's a little pinned on that top rail. That's why you don't see him just jumping down and shooting quickly.
Well, I think he pockets this 12 and draws back a little for the 14 and then gets on the 9 or the 15 up on top. He's going to take this now.
Well, he's going to take the cut on the 15 from across the table. Oh, my. He's lost the cue ball as well. Well, no.
That kind of looked like it was going right in the hole, and at the last minute, it kind of just
dove in a little bit. Okay.
Well,
all right. Now, here I try to get on the 3 where I can break the 5-6 open immediately, and if not, I got the 7 in the side. So I'll shoot the 2 and go by the 1 and try and get on in the middle of the table for that 3 ball. I think it lays perfect right here on the 2 to do so. And you got plenty of safety. What's he doing?
He's going to elevate. So
he can't get by the 1. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the other angle told me he could get by the 1, but he can't. And I still probably wouldn't elevate.
We tried. You went for it now.
Well, he got on the 6, I think, in the corner.
Yep. It worked.
And if not, he's still got other things. He can shoot the 3 right now on the side and go right into the face of the 6, no problem. He'd rather not. He'd rather just shoot the 6 cleanly right now because he does have to gain position on a. What is that down here below? That's the 7.
7 ball. Right next to the 8 on the bottom rail.
Yeah, and he really doesn't even have to. He could shoot that right now and come into him. I don't think I would do that, but
I'd still want to. I would still try to get on the 3 ball. I think I'd shoot the 6 ball here.
I don't think the 6 goes. That's why he's passing on it.
Okay.
Yeah, he looked at it and looked at it. And
well,
he's hung that ball.
It may not have hurt him too bad. No, he can see the 9. So if he can see the 9 ball,
he can get on the 15.
Get on both those balls go by the 8. Well, big reprieve for Darren here.
Yeah, and very similar to it may be over anyways, but this time at the table can't do anything but help Darren,
Sure.
I think. Similar to Billy Thorpe, with Billy not, he's been playing a lot of pool the last 3 or 4 years, but with the equipment change for Billy, oh wow, he's gone a long ways here as well. So
this is going to get interesting to see how he handles the 14 ball.
yeah, especially with the 8 there and the other pocket somewhat covered up. He's got to go forward with the cue ball and have the 14 going to the 4, correct? And then the cue ball go past them and have the 14 in the side, like a medium high ball, medium speed. I think so.
I think he wants to hit with a little bit more than medium speed because he's got to get that 14 to come up. Both corner pockets are blocked.
No, I think that you're going to follow the cue ball past it.
Okay.
The 14 is going to go into the 4 and stop, and then the cue ball follows past on this side, I think.
Well, it depends if the 14
He called a
hits.
bank. He called a bank on the. He called a bank shot
on this 12 ball. Oh, the 14, 12 ball. He called a bank on the 12. Look at this.
Wow.
That's how you solve that riddle.
He called the bank and he made it.
I don't have to move these balls. I'll
No.
just shoot around them. What a great shot. What a great play by Darren Appleton.
If he'd have told me, I'd have tried to bet you that he could run out from here without moving a ball. You would have bet that. 100% you would have bet that.
No, because usually when somebody wants to make a bet like that, they already have the answer.
They got you down?
They got you. Yep.
Now 7-2 with Tyler breaking. So here in the 10th game.
Another chance to watch this big break. Watch that cue ball stop just above center, dead center of the table. If
Well,
he hits
Jamie Barracks has come back to tie it with Chinahaw.
Yeah.
Dennis Hatch leads Coke 4-2. DeLuna 4-1 over McDaniel. Orcullo in a whitewash so far, and Danny Olson is playing great, so that just tells you 8-0 for Orcullo, how well Orcullo is playing.
Yep.
And doesn't get slowed down by 8 ball. John Mora 5-2 over Jim Davey. Kevin Chang knotted up with Edgy Geronimo at 4 apiece, and the same for Jung Lin Chang and Matkinen, 4 apiece. Okay.
And Danny Olson's been playing very well, too.
Great
just lost
talent.
8-0.
Okay, I don't think that ball in the corner goes. Meaning that 15, you can see the 14 hanging. The thing is, the 2 is a very easy shot to follow to follow behind the 14. So if he can get a solid down, even the 1, right?
I actually like shooting this 9 ball first. Are you looking at making solids?
Well, the 3 is alarming to me, but if the 3 goes, I like the solid, yeah, because the 15 doesn't pass the 1. I know you got to break them out, maybe, but
and usually 11 ball to do that, and then you have the 1 ball guarding that ball up in the corner, guarding that pocket.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I mean. That the 2 follows the 14 in very easily. So that's why I was saying if you can just go ahead and make the 1 and just kind of bet you're going to run out. The 3 is the one that would be alarming to me. Not the 14 doesn't worry me so much if I have solids.
Okay.
The 4 is easy to follow the ball in as well, because that 14 is deep.
Yes.
Very deep in the pocket.
Not sure he can make the 1.
Well,
that's probably going what the deciding factor may be for
if he can get the 1 ball.
Yeah, if he can.
Well, the 1's definitely makeable. He just may not be able to get at it right now. Again, the 3 is, if I'm solids, the 3 is the one that I would think about how am I going to get at that if it doesn't pass that 12 ball.
Well, Tyler is looking at something entirely different than what we're talking about.
I think he's looking at that combination and drawing back and making the 14 is what I think he's.
Yeah, he's got to come back and get it on the 5.
Or just getting on the 4 right here and then following the 4 in. He wants to hang that 2 ball. Yeah, but this isn't the way to follow it in. You don't want to be cutting the 4 trying to follow it in that hole. That's why if the 1's playable, I don't mind opening up to 15 here. And he must have a play on the 3. Must have something he feels good about with the 3 ball, right?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't appear to go by the 12. Well, we're going to see if that 1 goes. He stepped away from it.
He's playing safe, it looks like. And he's left it tough, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
What's Darren do from here? And this is the part of the game that Darren is.
Well, you can't see
one
the
of the
9.
parts that he's really good at is the battling part of the game, repositioning balls.
Play the 11 ball into the deuce and run the cue ball down by behind the 12.
Yeah.
But he's still the 3 ball still going to be available to him.
Well, that's what I wouldn't want to do. I wouldn't want to make the 3 available if it's not available right now. And that's what Darren's looking at. He's like, what kind of position do I have on this 3 as far as, is it helping me, hurting me? What's it doing? He's going to shoot the 11 into the 2, and he'll probably call the 11, huh?
In case it follows it in, why not?
Yeah, I mean, probably. Shooting. I mean, I know he's still got to get at a real ugly 15 ball up table, but.
Oh, he's missed it.
And he's scratched, which is going to hurt.
Yep. Ouch. Well, if the 3 ball doesn't go, he'll probably shoot the 3-2 combo.
And then leave the 3 there.
Or if the 1 ball doesn't go by, he's going to do something with that too. Well, I guess the 3 ball went.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah, with ball in hand, it was just tight probably, and with ball in hand, well, that helps. So, and I know the 1 is makeable. You got to get a good position on it, and I'd probably try to draw in a position on it right now, maybe. Or no, just play position on it off the 6, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, the 1 ball must be no concern too.
Now, he'd like to go ahead and get on the 4. If the 1's really not a concern, get on the 4 and then maybe the 1 and then the 5 and the 2, rather than having to play a 5-4 combination here in a second.
Well, if he had gotten straighter on the 6, he could have,
played the 5 first.
Played the 5 first and then the 4.
Just whichever you feel like is easier to play position on that 1 ball, if the 1 is a little bit of an issue. Don't think it really is, but
I think he's going to lay up on top of the 5 ball here. No, he's going to take care of the 1 now. Got 4 and 5. Might get a little. I guess he's going to play the combo after the 1.
Yeah, just stay above it. That's the main thing. Stay above it where you're cutting the 5 and the cue ball's going in a rail and up. Nothing can really go wrong besides a big miss.
See, I thought maybe he didn't shoot the 1 ball earlier because it didn't go, but no, he left it there to guard the 15 ball.
Well, earlier they showed I could actually get a look at it, and I'm not so sure where he had the cue ball that he could make it.
Okay.
Maybe with a little left spin to try and grab the 1 a little bit and hold it up and cut it in a little bit. But another one here that's
the lopsided match.
Well, just a couple scratch, not a scratch on the break, but a couple dry breaks, and then a couple mistakes as well. So, is he going to get all the way to the end rail here?
Why? He's got the 2 ball. Just in the middle and just come up off the bottom rail.
Yeah, watch this shirt because we are playing all ball fouls.
And to close it out.
Tyler Styer is going to move on to the 3rd round of the winner's side. Pretty sure Darren will be back tomorrow. Darren, the sportsman he is, always with a handshake.
Jeremy and I will be back at 4 o'clock with Marco Tutcher and Skyler Woodward. See you guys at 4.